What does it mean to mow with an attitude? It means 0 turns and full throttle. It's the power of 38 horses in a town of 10,000 people. It's like American Muscle got a PhD in rocket science. It's backing up your bark with serious bite. It's blood, sweat, and blades. What does it mean to mow with an attitude? Take a seat and find out for yourself.
Bad boy. Mow with an attitude.
Cullen Supply and Engine Service, 910 East Jackson Street in Dublin and 826 South Harris, Sandersville. Count on Cullen's.
If you look in the U.S., there's 19 million people in the United States that currently cannot get internet in their home. That's a big number, and the impact on rural America is disproportionate. You know, roughly 25% of the population in rural America doesn't have access to the internet. And this is the thing that keeps me up at night, is thinking about 6-year-olds growing up in households with no internet, because you don't have to be a genius to leap out 10 years, and you know the impact of technology on the workforce right now. If you're a child growing up in a home with no internet, 10 years out, we can't fix that problem. So we got to get it fixed now. So I'm going to show you, and we're going to begin working on, and I'm grateful for Heath and Dr. Brigman for getting me here today. We'll think of today as a benchmark discussion to help us all talk about and use the same language to talk about internet. I'm going to share some definitions for you, and we're going to talk about access, adoption, and use of internet. And I'm going to help us all have some dialogue so we can share together. When I talk about access to the internet, I mean available physical infrastructure. That means when you pick up the phone at your house and you call and say, I'd like internet installed, your provider will say, yes, I can install it at that physical address. When we talk about adoption, that's the choice that a resident or business makes to subscribe to the internet. So you have to have available access, and then you have to make the choice to subscribe. And I know it's a challenge in every community, even if you have 100% access. And there are communities I'm working with that do have that. Charlotte and Augusta are examples. They have 100% 25/3 access. You'll hear me talk about that. But they still struggle with adoption. And I know the school district will have a forever challenge of making sure moms and dads understand the importance of getting internet at home. So that's access and adoption. Let's talk, and I try not to get very geeky, but a little bit of definition is important. And you'll hear me talk about download speeds and upload speeds, because this is the benchmark where the FCC talks about whether internet exists or not. So it's 25 megabits per second download speed, 3 megabits per second upload speed. And from a layman's perspective, that means you can go out to Google, you can hit play on a video, and you're not going to get a spinning circle all the time. Everybody relate to that? And that's very important for a student to go home and do their homework. It's very important for health professionals to be able to deliver telehealth, which is a state-of-the-art way. And that's the way the United States needs to reduce healthcare costs, is by having this foundation of internet infrastructure in households. So this is what Georgia looks like. The data that I'm working with, and you're going to see green on the map. So we talked about 25/3 as being the definition of what is internet. Everything that's green on this map is 25/3 or better. Everything that's pink or green, I like to say, pink is trying hard. It's not really getting there in terms of quality of service. The gray areas are lightly touched, and you also see a lot of white on the map. And the white areas on the map have no service at all. It doesn't register as far as being a good quality. In Georgia, I did the math, and take a look at this number: 702,805 residents of Georgia. Think about that. Almost 750,000 people do not have access to the internet at home in Georgia. And that represents 257,000 households. And what really happens, there's 443,000 residents that do not even have 10.1 service at home. So this is not only do they not have 25.3, the quality of service that they're able to get is even less than that. And you can see what these pie charts kind of show you is the impact on rural residents. So you move from downtown Atlanta having roughly 3% of the population to smaller areas of the state where it's 9% impact in terms of percent of the population. So what I've been doing is I help you understand, I've been working with Heath to help understand the current state of broadband. That's what some of these maps are. I'll talk to that in a minute. Some techniques for solving the problem, developing a plan, identifying available vertical assets. And I know I was talking to the county this morning. You've got a lot of exciting things happen there. And then also, how do you pay for it? You know, talking about installing internet without referencing how to pay for it's a big problem.
At Morris Bank, we understand that your personal finances and banking experiences can be stressful. We also know that it doesn't have to be that way. That's why for over 60 years, we've dedicated ourselves to providing common sense banking to people just like you.
Even when I started working here, there was a definite vibe that you felt when you walked in the door, from the music that you're always going to hear playing to the hello, good to see you, welcome, how can we help you? You know, it's just a different experience when you bank here.
We work hard to combine the latest online mobile technology and top-notch customer service that allows us to do just that.
We realize our customers have choices, but what sets us apart is the personal service that we provide that they may not receive at larger institutions. We like to make you feel at home, and we like to make the process as easy as possible when you're banking with us.
But we're not focused on helping just our customers. We are equally dedicated to supporting the community we are a part of. Just this year alone, we've logged thousands of community service hours and provided significant financial support to the communities we serve.
Something that sets us apart at Morris Bank is what we give back to the communities in which we serve. And as the communities continue to grow, that brings more business and more industry into the area. And it's just this circle effect of giving back and receiving what the community can offer.
We want to make sure you have the best banking experience possible. Come see us or give us a call to find out what makes Morris Bank different, because we're banking on you.
Let's dig in. A little bit of background information, quickly touching on the Federal Communications Commission manages what's known as the Universal Service Fund. So I know at the bottom of every phone bill in here, you see that thing called USF fee, and you've been paying it your whole life. That goes into this fund at the Federal Communications Commission, and that's used to do, it's spread into 4 pieces. The schools and libraries get what's known as E-rate funding. That's how they pay for that. There's a Lifeline program to share affordable internet. You can actually, in Lawrence County, there's, I know AT&T offers it. I'm not sure some of the other providers, you also offer Lifeline. Great, PRTC. So Lifeline funding is available. That means you can get internet at your house for $10 a month, roughly. Rural Healthcare Connect, that's the ability to connect rural medical clinics. And lastly, Connect America Fund is where subsidy has been made available to specific census blocks, and I'm going to show you that map in a minute as we get through. This is what Lawrence County looks like when we look at 477 data. And I know this map is already out of date. This is a continuous thing, and I was talking to PRTC. I know for a fact this, and I know it's, you know, the fact is this is moving and changing all the time, but I think this is a helpful benchmark. This is as of December 31, 2017, which is actually the most current data set, believe it or not. When it gets published, it goes through about an 18-month publish cycle at the FCC. But again, going back to the definition, 25.3, green is good. So downtown Dublin has great service area. Over on the east, I think East Dublin, and has also good service, 25.3, green or better. And everything non-green has stuff that needs to be worked on, and some of it already has been. I know that for a fact. So let's talk numbers in Lawrence County. This is a big deal, and I hope I create a lot of change warriors in this room to go out and really take on this issue. I was talking to Locke yesterday. He said, what's the value of bringing internet to Lawrence County? I think it's incalculable. The lifetime impact of bringing internet, you currently have 18,694. This is as of December 31, 2017. Almost 19,000 residents and 7,000 households in Lawrence County that cannot get 25/3 internet service at home. It's a big number, and it's a huge percentage of the population, almost 40% of the population. So it's a big deal here. So I am a huge fan of everybody that's working their tails off to make this happen, and it's going to take everybody working together. So this is not anything negative about the providers. They're all working their butts off, but they need all of you helping them to make Lawrence become the most provider-friendly community in the U.S. I think that should be your goal. So let's talk a little bit about some new technology. This is exciting. Locke just showed me an advertisement he got from AT&T. This is what's known as fixed wireless internet capability. And what's neat about this is with a tower, you notice on the tower there's a new antenna here. This antenna can reach a household via receiving dish. This is not Wi-Fi service. I draw that distinction. This is what's known as fixed wireless. So you connect a house to the antenna by using a receiving dish, and you bring Wi-Fi into the home. But what's cool about that is with one tower, you can reach everybody within a 3 to 5 mile radius, depending on how high the tower is and where it's mounted and so forth. So the ability to impact change rapidly with fixed wireless is happening. And I know this technology exists in Lawrence County right now. So that's exciting. This gray area, I believe, I'm not positive. Is anybody from AT&T in the room? I suspect on the gray map in the corner, the gray area reflects fixed wireless service that I'm pretty sure was installed in the last 12 months via AT&T, and you can purchase that now, and it's available.
Local events coverage brought to you in part by Jeff Davis and Altera Networks. Altera Networks, premium IT systems backed with world-class support. IT consulting and on-site networking, ongoing support and security. That's Altera Networks. Jeff Davis also serves our community as Lawrence County Commissioner, District 3, and continues to serve our community at large.
This map shows anything that's non-green. It shows you where the people live. So what's needed, this is what's known as a heat map. So if you look at the dark red areas, you can say, okay, we don't have a good quality of service here, but here's where the most people live. And what that gives us the ability to do is to create a prioritized action list for where we have to get after it. So I've broken down Lawrence County into 12 6x6 boxes. It gives us all a frame of reference. There's no engineering significance to these boxes other than the fact that they're 6x6 square mile areas. It's something you can wrap your arms around. And with these 12 projects, Lawrence County can be 100% green. And so the idea is, I think Locke's a big fan of box number 1. Am I correct? That's right. Yeah. So he lives. He's willing to sponsor that one and make it happen. That's what I see that. So that's how it happens. But this creates, very affectionately an Adopt a Highway program, right? You all can get behind a box, you can solve it. You can use an existing water tower, you can use an existing, or put a new wireless tower in. You can work with the county and the city to make that stuff happen. So once you all wrap your brains around a box, you can solve it. This is not, it's an achievement you all can get around. The other thing I did is the homework on residents and households in each one of those boxes, so you have that as a reference chart now, kind of know where you're at. But box number 1, since we were referencing that, there's 1,437 households or residents and 555 households in that one box, to give you an idea of where the impact is. So there's a big opportunity here. I'm going to kind of wrap it up. This is the beginning of a forever discussion. This is not a project that stops and ends. Internet is not going anywhere. It's a part of the long-term history of Lawrence County. Everybody in here is part of the team. I'm anxious to work with the district. I'm grateful for Heath to be here, and I'm happy to be a resource and help you move the ball forward over the next 100 years. So hopefully I can last that long. But it's a real pleasure, and I hope this is a great start of a discussion, and Heath, thank you very much.